Have you ever passed by an old dog lying silently by the roadside, eyes staring into the distance as if waiting for someone to come back? Did you stop? Or did you just glance, thinking it was just another stray? But what if I told you that dog was once a hero, a lifesaver, and is carrying a secret no one knows? Today I'm going to tell you the story of Koda, the silent old dog, and Leo, a boy who hadn't spoken a word in 8 years. It's a true story, quiet yet deeply moving. Hold on tight because the ending may change the way you look at the world. Langridge is a sleepy town in Wyoming, surrounded by hills and pine trees that turn golden every fall. At the edge of town, near Highway 27, people often saw a dog, fur graying, eyes foggy yet watchful, lying motionless beside the road. Nobody knew where he came from. Some said he was abandoned. Others thought he used to be a hunting dog. But only one person stopped by every day, a boy named Leo, 11 years old, who never spoke, never smiled, and had no friends. He would sit quietly beside the dog, place a small sandwich or bit of food on a rock, and leave. The dog, who people later learned was named Koda, never touched the food until Leo was gone. No one really knew why Leo didn't speak. His mother, Maya, explained that after a wildfire when Leo was only 3, he had fallen silent. One rainy afternoon, Mr. Witt, a retired police chief, happened to pass by and saw Leo and Koda together. He froze when he noticed an old worn leather collar around the dog's neck, with barely visible lettering. K9, Koda, Montana State Search and Rescue. Witt's heart skipped. Koda wasn't just a stray, he was a former rescue dog, part of a trained emergency response unit, and then he remembered. 8 years ago, during a massive wildfire on the Montana-Wyoming border, a K9 unit dog had reportedly run into the blaze to guide 2 firefighters and a child to safety. The child survived. The dog disappeared. That child was Leo. He had been found hugging a piece of singed gray fur, in shock, beneath a scorched tree. Doctors said the trauma had silenced him completely. No one realized Koda had survived, and for years waited silently, watching over the boy he once saved. One winter night, a sudden snowstorm hit Langridge. Temperatures dropped to -20 degrees Celsius, and the town lost power. Leo insisted on going out, tugging his mother's coat. She bundled him up and let him go. She knew where he was headed, but hours passed. Midnight came. Leo hadn't returned. Maya panicked. Neighbors searched in the storm, but the snow had erased all tracks. Koda was missing too. At dawn, they found Leo unconscious, nearly 2 miles from home, beneath a broken pine tree. Curled on top of him, shielding him all night from the cold, was Koda, wet, freezing, barely breathing. Koda's eyes fluttered open as Maya called his name. He looked at her once, sighed deeply, and closed his eyes for the last time. Leo opened his, and for the first time in 8 years he whispered, "Don't go, Koda." Koda didn't survive, but in that moment, something inside Leo awakened, as if Koda had carried his silence all these years until the very end. They held a small memorial for Koda. The whole town came. By the roadside where he once waited every day, they placed a small stone marker. It read, "Koda, the dog who never left the one he loved." Leo began to speak again. Not much, but enough. And every day he visits Koda's stone, lays a wildflower, and softly says, "I still remember you." There are creatures who don't ask to be remembered. They don't need medals or applause, but they love, quietly, fiercely, and with their entire being. Koda wasn't just a dog. He was a guardian of memory, a silent hero, and the keeper of a broken child's soul. And Leo, thanks to that love, came back to life.